We have the newspapers here, and on the front page of the Daily Guide, which is the first paper we're looking at, 8 burnt to death in Gorée crash. We also have Rawlings, Nana walk hand in hand, and Stars demo in limbo. So far, nobody has said it's in limbo though, but that's on the front page of the Daily Guide. Daily Guide, sometimes they are reporting, I say, Dumfu Kumfubi. They are praising you as, anyway, they're supposed to report.
I think it's just the change of venue, not change of venue per se, but the starting point of that whole vigil and peaceful march. It's been changed from the University of Ghana Stadium.
Because
and then
I monitored Rhythms A to Z on Saturday, and you talked to a number of people. Kofi Bento, who is a lawyer representing the conveners of the vigil, so to speak, and other personalities, and I thought they made their point clear. But the point is, if you're converging at the Tetekwashi, whatever the green section is, it's still controlled by a certain local authority, so to speak.
Okay. Well, we've got an interview. We've got a conversation on that subject. So it's actually the latest and the very current. Please stay with us for the details. Let me do the Daily Graphic newspaper. Front page of the Graphic. Boy 13 kills 2 playmates with father's single-barreled gun. Now, this keeps coming back to us. It's happened before, and it keeps happening. Where can parents keep their guns so that their children cannot lay their hands on it and then be playing with it? But the story says a 13-year-old boy last Friday allegedly shot 2 of his playmates with his father's gun at Ejumako in the Central Region, an accident which threw the town into a state of shock and mourning. The boy is said to have threatened his playmates, Patrick Ocho and Andrew Nsefo, both aged 10, that he could shoot them while they were playing in his father's compound. He's said to have entered his father's room, taken his loaded single-barreled gun and shot them. The boys were rushed to the Ejumako District Government Hospital but were pronounced dead on arrival. It comes back to also tell us some of the movies that we allow our children to watch, because they practice what they see and they think that is just a joke. But this definitely was not. It wasn't.
The point
just
is,
play.
Can we avoid a lot of them not only watching the movies, but even the games they play on the phones and using the PS4s and things like that.
And the cartoons. I keep saying that some of the cartoons.
There's one called, for
older
example,
than the children.
Something B or Killer B.
And there's Ben 10, which I think is also not appropriate for certain
even back
age.
in the day when we were watching Captain Planet and things like that, and Masters of the Universe, He-Man. I mean, it was still bad. Yes.
But if you look at, Captain Planet wasn't. I mean, there was like a hero, like everybody would run to.
Yeah, true. But
that
people still shot in there. At least the ones who were the villains were still shooting. Yeah.
We know that sometimes children would want to act like Spider-Man and think that
they
can save the world and then they can fly out of a window,
break their legs,
that kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah, but we have to watch the kind of things that our children watch on television. Not every cartoon is child friendly. Please watch the age. But back to the front page of the Daily Graphic. 7 burnt to death in accident. We reported on this incident extensively, and the police say they're trying to figure out what might have happened. 2 vehicles colliding and then catching fire, and 7 people.
So it was not even on the main road. It was a feeder road, so to speak. So I guess the gravels may have resulted in the car going not on a very straight line.
Okay, so we also see on the front page of the paper President Mahama congratulating David Cameron for winning that election in his country. 2 chiefs lay claim to Bolga skin. Another headline there, but back page of the Daily Graphic. Pong irrigation dam to be rehabilitated. Lack of funds affecting production of Pozzolana cements. And that story is also on the back page of the Daily Graphic newspaper. You can grab the paper and read the details.
Front page of the Ghanaian Times has a story. Rival chief Lord lands in town with fanfare. Apparently there could be a chieftaincy crisis at Bolga. And you have the new chief or king, Naba Abaka Nuntaba Mautega. Very handsome man though.
Yes, but then I like the name.
Yeah. Naba Abeka Nontaba Maltega. Very interesting. And 2 fishermen sell their colleague for rituals, and we have Volta police begin war against nomadic Fulanis. But there's a tragic story being reported on the front page, but also fully covered in page 3 or on page 3 of the paper about an NHIA official at Kintampo who is said to have committed suicide. And as a result of that, this has been reported. And according to the sources and the police report, he seems to have bought the rope himself and decided to take his own life. Back page, Joshua Clottey wins in USA and Ghana's Joshua Clottey was in a no-nonsense mood when he pounded his way to a unanimous decision over George Silva on the undercard of Canelo Kirkland at Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas, last Saturday. All right. The other stories we have on the back page: satellite wallop New Zealand, and someone will say, when you go to the championship, go and do well. There's a World Under-20 championship that will be taking place soon, and athletics thrill at Sussex. Okay, so those are the stories we have on the front and back pages of the paper, the Ghanaian Times.
I've got a Scandal newspaper, front page of the paper. GBC cuts service hours because of Dumso. So the paper is reporting that Unique FM, for instance, has now cut down. They're not doing 24 hours. They close at midnight and then they resume airing at 4:30 a.m. Our radio sections are also doing the same thing, really. It's taking a toll. If you think like you're a King Kong, you continue buying diesel and petrol to power those generators. A time will come when you realize that, I mean, it's more expensive than you thought it would be. So it's taking a toll even on the state broadcaster GBC. All abroad to salvage what is left of Ghana, an editorial. Ghana's fantasy coffins make waves worldwide. And AGI, business climate worsening in Ghana, that's what they say. Back page is that full AGI story. And Dumso, Mahama can't add 3,800 megawatts in 5 years as promised. That is what's the think tank Africa Center of Energy Policy is saying. So you can read the details of that also in the Scandal newspaper.
Front page of the General Telegraph, 6 new waste processing plants for Accra as government Amtech Limited collaborate to minimize flooding and sanitation-related diseases in the capital. Also of excessive subsidies could throw government budgets out of gear, Finance Minister. And make personal sacrifices for your children. First Lady urges Ghanaian women and offenders of excessive noise law will be prosecuted, according to Akwe Thompson. But we also have U.S. Ambassador Wright on Ghana's cocoa. Back page, EFA mourns May 9th stadium disaster victims. And those are the stories we have on the front, back pages of the paper, the General Telegraph.
I'll do the public agenda next. Front page of the public agenda. Thermal expansion project under threat, we're told. Aboise residents set to clash with VRA over claims of non-payment of compensation. Also, restructure financing policy of NHIS. Campaign group urges government. And that will be it for the front page headlines in the public agenda newspaper. Roland, what have you got?
I have this one, the Finder, that seems to say that there will be no more third term for president of ECOWAS member states, and the Finder is reporting that and says ECOWAS is trying to think about that. But Fonya Singbe just went for a third term, unless I'm lying. It doesn't make sense to me. Paul Biya is also a president of Cameroon, but Cameroon really is not a member of ECOWAS.
No more third term. I mean, where are they? Like when the presidents decide to extend their tenure after they're done, after what the Constitution say they could do, where are the other leaders?
Beats my mind.
African leaders are too slow.
Beats my mind.
I mean, it's not like too slow. They are slow. They don't act.
Yeah, that's why we have Temaport expansion to start in third quarter, and you have a picture there of Richard Anamu, who is the Director General for the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. Chinese Ambassador commends Dan Adams, and the Chinese Ambassador is seen there interacting with the boss of Dan Adams, Dr. Edu Jenfi, And the story really is on page 10 of the paper. And the Chinese ambassador Sun Baohong is seen there interacting. And Ambassador Sun Baohong is there.
You've mentioned this name before.
Sun Baohong.
And I said it was nice.
Sun Baohong. Ambassador, Your Excellency. Yeah. I just love your name. Sun Baohong.
Let me do the Business Day. That's the last newspaper, really. Front page of the Business Day. Pressure mounts on Bank of Ghana to protect customers. Dumsor will end by 2016.
Who's that?
That's what Power Minister is saying. And
he's saying it again?
So let me read a bit for you. But I thought he said the end of 2015. Yeah?
No, he says
end of 2015. If it doesn't end, he would resign. Okay, all right. So the Minister of Power, Dr. Kwabena Donko, has vowed to resign his position if the current power crisis does not end by January 1, 2016. Okay, but the point is, can we stop reporting on this? Because which one is of interest to us? Is it his resignation or us getting consistent power?
For me, it will make no meaning if he
resigns and the problem persists, right? Yeah. Okay, back page of the paper. Man United signs have Ghanaian Memphis.
No, we should stop deluding ourselves with this. Memphis Depay or Depay or whatever his name
from
is.
PSV. Listen, the guy is never going to play for Ghana, so forget it.
He plays for the national team.
That's why I said he's never going to play for Ghana, so forget it. He's a Manchester United player.
What's all this about? If I was half Ghanaian or something of the sort and I was in the UK and I felt more like a British.
More British than Ghanaian.
Why should I come? And besides, when I come, there'll be Dumsor.
Okay, listen,
a friend of mine went to the UK for holidays for I think 5 to 6 weeks, and Elom is back and says, he said there was a 30 minutes power outage somewhere suburb of London or something, and an announcement was made 2 days before the time, and they kept repeating it prior to the period when for only 30 minutes. I said it was beautiful. Ghana.
Tell Elam he's welcome back to Ghana. If he feels the kitchen is too hot, he knows what to do. He did it the first time.
If you feel the kitchen is too hot, please go to Canada.
Yeah, and forget it. Like, go forever and ever and never come back. But I have to go through quickly the headlines at myjoyonline.com. That's our news portal. AGI charges government to urgently tackle worsening business climate. ECOWAS congratulates David Cameron. Otumfuo admonishes newly installed chief of Bolgatanga. That's another one there. Increasing electricity tariffs under Dumsor is insane. Agenda 2030, women in the media. Men can't do without women. Edu Safo. Oh, I love that because I've been saying that. Thousands walk in remembrance of victims of the May 9 soccer disaster. Ghanaian student wins Best Paper Award in Italy. So some of the headlines that you can get at myjoyonline.com, just click on it and read the details for yourselves. We'll come back and do sports. Yesterday, Andy Murray is in action, and I tell you what, when that British dude wins something, it's like when he breaks a record, it's like major. He won his first Madrid title.
Yeah, his first Grand Slam on clay.
Yeah. No, he didn't win the first Grand Slam.
On clay.
On clay.
That's his first on clay.
The
clay, the normal clay. Normal like sand.
Yeah.
He won Wimbledon.
Yeah. Wimbledon was the major.
Yeah. He won the title, not Wimbledon. It's the US Open, I believe.
No, it was Wimbledon.
It was Wimbledon?
Yes. Yeah. Was it?
No. It was not.
It was.
It was not.
No, it was. It was.
He was defeated.
But we're going to be checking. We'll come back. No, he wasn't defeated.
Well, that's what we're not experts.
He wasn't defeated. He broke that record, and it made huge headlines.
Charlie,
but don't take it from us. The experts will come
Google day. Just okay. So we're going to have Kwame Jumajima. We'll ask him this. If he doesn't know about tennis, it's only football, we'll surcharge him. Really.
But stay with us here on the AM Show. We still have a lot more to come. Remember, we have the CEO of the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission. I would love for you to ask your questions. Workers, public sector workers, this is an opportunity because you don't find this man easily if you have questions for him. Please let me have them. so I can ask your questions for you. Go to facebook.com/Joy News on TV, and please post your questions and your comments there.
We'll be right back.